Hi everybody. So it's still Self-Kindness Awareness Week. I've just had such a lovely week spending with you because it's such a nice topic to talk about, isn't it? And I want to tell you a story today. So over this summer, the trip that we took with the kids was up to Scotland in our camper van. And we went out into some of the Western Isles where you have to take a ferry boat out to get to these islands. And we not only went to the island of Isla, but then we went to a smaller island called Jura, where you have to take a ferry boat from the island is the only way to get to it. You can't get to it from the mainland very easily. So we spent the day driving around, and it was beautiful and wild, and we were waiting for the ferry boat to come back because we couldn't stay the night on the island. And the ferry boats are quite impressive. They're big enough to drive a bunch of cars and trucks and things onto. So we watched the ferry boat to the mainland go by through this passageway of water. And we were just crossing the small passage between the two islands on a small ferry boat. But we watched the big ferry boat go by from Isla to the mainland. And my two boys were really excited and watching it, and it felt quite close. And then it passed, and we were sort of just looking at the way, the sort of water and looking to the other side where we could see the island that we were going to. And all of a sudden, the water right where we were became incredibly rough. There were huge waves kind of lapping up on the shore right below us where we were sitting on the rocks. And in my mind, I just got really confused because I thought, oh my gosh, this, where have these gigantic waves come from? It took me a minute to realize these are the waves that were created by that huge ferry boat that went like 5 minutes ago. I don't know how long it was, but it seemed long enough that the boat had really gone. And, I was thinking about this because this is a perfect analogy of what can happen in our mind with our thought patterns, and how sometimes our thought patterns can go through, but they have a really long tail. So they have a really long-term effect that sometimes only comes in later. So at first, we don't match up or link up the result that we're feeling and the thought pattern that caused that. Even if we were to really look, it was pretty obvious that it's this gigantic ferry boat. So I don't know if that's helpful for you, but for me, it really brought back this idea of how, although sometimes these practices seem quite simple and quite small, particularly in the amount of time in our day that we might practice them, actually what we're doing is making a profound effect, not only in that moment, but in the impact that it has on that sort of trail through the water, and those waves that are created way after the fact. And so meditation and these moments of dropping into stillness where we feel something more than just the stories that we tell ourselves and the noise in our mind, that we feel a sense of being and a sense of presence, and we have a different experience of ourselves. Not only does that help us, give us ways and tools and methods to notice the thought patterns that are causing the tail sort of winds of suffering in our life, the things that are causing us real discomfort, anxiety, stress. But we're also creating a different kind of tailwind. We're creating a different kind of, waves that come after our boat. So those are calmness that take us through our day. They're a feeling of balance, even when the outside world seems completely imbalanced. And that's something that stays with us. beyond just these little moments of practice that we might do that might seem very small and insignificant in terms of time, but have a very large impact on our lives. And I do think that I catch myself so often trying to rearrange the exterior of my life to make things work better. And I think that is something that we all have to do. We all have to look at our schedules, and we all have to look at the way we're using our time, and we have to make tweaks that allow things to run more smoothly and make choices that allow things to run more smoothly. But so often, we're trying to create stability and balance and calm in our exterior life so that we feel balanced and calm and, clear in our minds, spacious in our self. So what we're looking for is in our experience, and we're focusing our attention and our efforts on trying to control the external world around us so that the inside of us can feel okay. And this is something that might work in a moment temporarily, but it's not a strategy that we've seen from our own experience works kind of reliably. And it seems from our culture and the way that we've been taught and the way that we've grown up and been raised, it seems counterintuitive that we should allow the outer world to relax a little bit and instead start working inside first, and then notice how the inside spills outward. We're not taught how to do that, and we're not given confidence that process works. And certainly we're not given confidence that process works better and more effectively than trying to rearrange the world, which actually we can't necessarily control most of. So I hope that's helpful. And what I'd really like you to take away from today, if anything, is that your inner world and the thought patterns that we all have that are just our unique habits of the way that we think, the way that we react to situations, the thoughts that commonly go on in our heads, these have a massive impact on our lives. The impact on our lives goes far beyond the moment that we think that thought into the anxiety and stress that we carry in our bodies, in the way that we react to other people in our lives, in the way that we're able to enjoy and experience our lives in the present moment that we're in. And although it might seem very small to take 3 minutes or 5 minutes to learn how to turn your attention inward and learn to shine a light on what's going on inside of you, inside of your mind, and to learn to control or calm the things that are going on inside your mind, actually, these small drops, these tiny moments of practice can have a massive, massive impact on how everything goes on the outside. So it's still not too late to jump into the Self-Kindness Awareness Week giveaway. I've got a bunch of really lovely things to give away to you all, and from my heart, this is such an exciting and lovely thing for me to be able to do. And it also gives you the opportunity to practice receiving, which sometimes we're not so good at. We're very good at giving. And actually allowing people to give to us is sometimes harder than it seems like it should be. But all you need to do is go into the Messy Luminous Being Instagram account, find the post on Self-Kindness Awareness Week, and just tag 3 friends that you know could use to be a lot kinder to themselves. And then there's lovely things from independently owned women's businesses that I can't wait to share with you. And I have a few month passes to my meditation membership group to give away as well. So it'll be great to have a few more lovely luminous spirits in there as well. All right, I hope you have a good day. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself in here especially. And I'll see you again tomorrow.